Welcome to Dr. Africa Live. I'm Dr. Stevenson, and this morning we are trying to see if we can get phone calls. So if you have a question, you can call us at area code 330-776-5911.
A little too fast.
Again, area code 330-776-5911. What we're trying to do is talk about health and find out what's going on with you, answer a couple questions, and just try to fine-tune our streaming. So we appreciate you.
We're just here to get information.
Yes. So, Dr. Africa, this morning I just wanted to talk about, we have passed January and we've just now gotten through February. And in January, people generally want to lose weight. They want to become healthy. And sometimes they get overwhelmed because of all the holidays and they just don't know where to start. So I wanted to talk about, where is the most vital place for a person to start cleansing? Is it the colon? Is it the blood? We also know that they need to deal with their diet.
I would say the first stop is their brain.
Okay.
That's what the advertisers are trying to get to, their brain and their emotions. So they have to get with that first. But that process is just not going to work. And they're going to wait till New Year's to change their lifestyle. They ain't going to change their lifestyle.
Well, we have an incoming call.
That has to be done all year round. New Year's resolution. It should be done every month.
Yes, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from, and what's your question?
My name is Ellison Harrell, and I'm calling from Washington.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
What's your question? Can you hear us?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
All right, darling. What's your question?
I was just wondering, my bottom two front teeth, the gum line is receding on the back side. The dentist said there's no cure, you have gum disease, but I just refuse to believe that. So that's why I'm calling today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your question.
Again, thanks for calling. We appreciate your question. This is about the skin that you're calling your gums. And skin is treated the same way as any other skin. If you rub it wrong, you get a bruise or something of that sort.
Hello?
So what you're trying to do is listen to me and not listen to your telephone. Because you got two things going on.
That was my fault.
You had to turn off your phone and just...
It was my fault.
Yeah. But nonetheless, we can use such herbs as comfrey and cloves and things of that sort. But brushing your teeth down causes the gum to go down, to recede. You have to brush up, away from the gum, not down toward the gum.
Okay, so you're saying comfrey will tighten up her gums.
I'm saying comfrey along with cloves.
And cloves.
Yes.
And how often should she do that?
Well, if she's eating raw, it's not a problem. It's just that the cooked food causes the gummy plaque to be around the teeth to get under the gum. So that's why I was saying it's something that's a life-changing process. It's not just the teeth. It's what you're eating is involved. Granny Smith apple will just about cleanse the tart off your teeth anyway.
Wow, Granny Smith.
It's a green apple.
I like Granny Smith. It tastes good.
Yeah, it's kind of tart, but it works. And then, of course, chew sticks, neem and cinnamon. You can chew those and they will help as well.
Okay.
But the main thing is to brush away from the gum, not toward the gum, which causes the gum to recede. And to think of this gums as skin, and anything you can do for your regular skin, you can do for the gums.
Okay. As well, when a person wants to start cleansing, first let's talk about the diet. Okay? Let's talk about what they're consuming. Most people get up in the morning. Some of us eat, some of us don't eat. For those of us who eat, what is optimal to break your fast? And what time should that be done? Is it 11 o'clock?
We're dealing with people who rush into work now. They have to change their whole life schedule, and the life schedule is not built around your health. They do not design your work for your health. You can't call in healthy. You can only call in sick. So it's a whole another way of thinking altogether. But in the morning, ideally, you should just rinse out your mouth and drink a glass of water. And that's what you should do the first thing in the morning, ideally. But most people try to get a stimulant such as caffeine and do coffee, which is a bean, which is a carbohydrate, which turns into sugar. So the first thing they do is take sugar.
Wow.
Which is devastating in itself, which will cause the gums to get inflamed. But ideally, you should rinse your mouth, drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. That's the ideal thing. And try to eat something cleansing, which will bring you into food combining, because people combine food wrong, as you mentioned before. And it's a whole lifestyle change. You've been seeing strawberries with cornflakes all your life, and I'm telling you, don't do fruits with carbohydrates. We combine the food wrong, and that causes problems with our energy level during the day.
So again, if you have any questions, you can call in today at area code 330-776-5911. If you're interested in any of Dr. Africa's products, you can go online to LailaAfrica.com. That is LLAILA, F as in freedom, RIKA .com. I always do that wrong. LailaAfrica.com, and that's where you can go for books, CDs, DVDs, products, and a whole lot of other things. And if you want apparel and you like my shirt, you can get that there as well. So Dr. Africa, recapping, most people don't see coffee as a bean, which is a carbohydrate, which converts to sugar.
Yeah.
They don't think that way. And that's the reason why when you drink the coffee, you get so amped up.
You get amped up for the moment.
For the moment.
Because you're eating sugar,
Right.
and it's going to drop, and you're going to lose energy, so therefore you have to drink more coffee. So you can't drink 1 cup of coffee. You drink 1 cup of coffee that drops your energy, another cup of coffee that raises your energy, and to buffer that whole situation, put sugar in it.
Okay.
So it's a carbohydrate madness, really. But as I said before, this is the mind, your way of thinking, your approach to food. All of that's part of it. It's just not a single activity of eating breakfast. You got to get that strawberries with wheats out of your mind, and raisins with wheat out of your mind, because that's fruit, and a carbohydrate, which you call a starch. It's a whole different mindset, actually.
So we have a text coming in, and the question is, can Dr. Africa address spinal issues and sciatic pain?
We're talking about the backbone, as people call it. People call it these different things, spinal. That's the backbone. And you have a nerve that runs down the center of the backbone, which we call the central nervous system, and one that runs on the side of the backbone, which we call the vagus or peripheral nervous system. And the largest nerve coming down your thigh is called a sciatic nerve. It goes all the way down. It goes to your knee.
Yeah, no, it goes from the center, the lower back, lumbar, down through the buttocks, through the center part of the leg, all the way down to the bottom, and it goes right below your calf and your heel.
So it's going all the way down to your lower leg,
Yeah.
and going underneath your heel.
Up underneath your heel, but this way.
Yeah.
This is your heel. It goes up underneath this.
So it's going toward the center.
Yes.
Yes. And
Of
that's,
your heel.
yeah, of your heel. So we're saying it's going down. It's on the side.
It's in the middle. It's going down the middle of your back of your leg.
It's going down the middle of the back of your leg.
Yes.
And it goes all the way down to the knee.
Yes. All the way down past the knee.
To the lower leg, which
To
we
the
call
lower
the
leg.
shin bone,
Correct.
the calf. And then it goes down to the heel,
The heel.
and turns slightly toward your navel, as people say.
Well, okay.
And to the center.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to give people an idea what you're talking about there. What we are talking about in this proper sitting,
Yes.
proper posture. We
Yes.
got to start with the basics, and people don't sit correctly in cars. That's the problem. They don't sit correctly in cars, and they sit too much. We usually say for 1 hour of sitting, you got to do 15 minutes of exercising. You got to go walk around for 15 minutes. For every hour sitting, get up, walk around for 15 minutes, or else it's going to decrease the circulation to the upper leg, buttocks, and lower legs. So we're talking about incorporating walking during the day, or when you're on the phone, you're sitting, you're taken away from the circulation. So you got to get up and move around to help the circulation. It's a lifestyle thing here. People asking for a remedy, and I'm saying it's your whole life we're looking at this. essentially.
And as well with the sciatic, you can take a golf ball or you can take a tennis ball and sit on a hard surface, and the center part of your buttocks, put the golf ball or the tennis ball there and slowly but surely put your pressure down on it, your cheek, your butt cheek, and you'll start to feel a little bit of pain. But you take a deep breath in and then you relax it out, and then you put a little bit more pressure on that ball, okay? And that will help also to relax the muscle that's squeezing on the nerve, and it sometimes will alleviate. If it is a real severe case of sciatic, it may take a really good massage therapist or an acupuncturist to get it out. But first you can do your own stretches. And we have to understand, like Dr. Afrika said, you can't eat like a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of caffeines. These kind of things make your blood thick, you know, and then we start to have issues from the dietary point. So this is holistic. So you have to watch what you eat as well as watch your practices as far as your posture is concerned.
That's just a remedy, because people just want remedies. Sometimes they don't want understanding. But if you have understanding, that's the greatest thing in the world. What you want is an understanding. But if just for a remedy for the pain, you can use white willow, which is a herb. You've seen the weeping willow trees. I'm talking about the white willow tree. And we use that for pain, and we also use boswellia, which people call frankincense. You may have heard that from the Bible, frankincense and myrrh. The wise man was bringing boswellia for pain, birth pain, which we don't call frankincense today, we call it boswellia. So that's used for pain, and arnica.
And you have that in your nerve formula.
Yes, we have a supplement on our website, laelaafrica.com, for pain and for nerve pain, and it helps to alleviate the condition, but you have to change your lifestyle, as Dr. Stephen was saying. You have to do things proactive and not react to the pain, be proactive. But those are some of the easy remedies, yeah.
So again, if you have any questions, you want to call in, you can call in to area code 330-776-5911. We're trying to do a test to make sure that our phone calls are coming in correctly. But until then, we have another question that came in, Dr. Afrika. And it says, I am 7. Hi, I've been eating the Dr. Sebi foods for a few years now and still getting canker sores, and my scalp is always drying out. I also wanted to know if there is a permanent fix for fever blisters.
The question is a good question, but the person's assuming that people know what the Dr. Sebi diet is. I don't even know that.
So what were you eating?
What are you eating?
What did you take?
Talk to me.
I am 7. Can you tell us what you were actually taking and what you were eating? But until you get back with us.
No, generally speaking, they're talking about a yeast infection, which people call dandruff. And that comes from a high carbohydrate diet, primarily a lot of sweets, will cause yeast to grow, and people call that dandruff or athlete's foot, and yeast infection, various names for yeast. So it sounds like you have a yeast infection. And what you're talking about is these bumps and sores and things that are in the scalp, and that's primarily skin. Don't think of scalp, think of the skin. Anything you can do to help the skin.
So the skin is drying out.
Right.
Okay.
And that's caused by a high acid diet. People assume that, that's what we would, cooked meat, processed flours, mostly wheat that people eat, white grits, coffee, ice cream, cake, candy, sodas, beer, wine, alcohol, the things that you like. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
Pizza, it's just things that you like. So talking about a lifestyle change, no way of reorientating yourself, but the bumps themselves can be treated with a herb called burdock root and calendula, which some people call marigold. That can help. Those are herbs that help. With the skin, you need something like a zinc cream, which is very healing, or colloidal silver temporarily, which is kind of healing. Those are things you can do topically, but I'm saying that you got to go back to the diet, balancing it, and not trying to eat a whole lot of carbs, as people don't think of they're carbohydrates with all of that starch that they're eating. They just don't think of that. Candy is a carbohydrate, sugar is a carbohydrate. They're thinking, I don't know, rice, I guess.
Which is interesting, Dr. Afrika. I am 7 said he has an alkaline food list that basically is mucusless foods, which I don't think he understands that that's what the heading of what they've told him, but it's not specific. So what he's telling us is that what he was given was supposed to be alkaline foods and supposed to be foods that don't create mucus inside the body, but nevertheless, it did not address the problem with the dry scalp and the problem with the canker sores. And understand, you just told him canker sores come from.
Yeah. We were talking about the diet itself, which
Right.
is drying out the scalp and saying mucus is absurd. You need mucus. There's nothing wrong with mucus. It's just when it's in excess amount of it. But you need mucus. Mucus is just a thick fluid that transports nutrients. If you get rid of that thick fluid, you can't transport the heavy metals, as you call them, nutrients like calcium. Things that are heavy need thick mucus. And nonetheless, what I'm saying is nothing wrong with mucus. There's nothing wrong with acid. There's nothing wrong with alkaline. You have to eat it in moderation, not overdo either one of them. So don't try to get rid of mucus, because mucus forms cartilage forms bones, so you're trying to get rid of bone, essentially.
And basically, if you eat 80% alkaline and 20% acid, that's the balance that you should have on your plate on a daily basis. And you should have 70% green leafy vegetables, okay? And you should also have 15% protein and 15% raw fat in a day. You also need to be taking a multivitamin and a mineral.
Plant-based,
Right.
ideally.
Right.
But everyone doesn't have that kind of income, that kind of strapped these days. But nonetheless, we're saying that it's nothing wrong with these things. A mucusless diet, it's just simply saying cook food. When you cook the food, you're making it more mucus, more slimy. So that's all we're talking about. Raw as opposed to cooked. These are just social names that we use to help people get on the path. But in chemistry, you cannot get rid of mucus. You will destroy yourself. You need mucus. It's just a thick fluid, and you have thin fluid. It's pH. You can call it thick fluid, alkaline, and the thin fluid acid. It's just different names for things that we use in science. But you're adding social words with chemical words, and that's where the confusion is coming in.
Okay, so we're trying to get you to do a lifestyle change. And with the lifestyle change is you have to look at your intake of what you're eating every day with an honest eye to yourself. If you find that you are eating a lot of carbohydrates, you must adjust that. If you find that, you have to have that cup of coffee in the morning, you need to find an alternative to coffee for the morning, which is like, what is the alternative? There are some people who have to have coffee. Dr. Afrika, what is something else that they can take?
I don't know anything about this, why they have to have coffee, actually. They have to have a glass of water. That would be ideal. But these are just social things that we've gotten into, people drinking coffee, that sort of thing. But it's just a stimulant that you're after. Ashwagandha is a nice stimulant if you want a stimulant type of thing. But actually, a fruit would be nice. Fruit, mango, papaya, apple, orange. A fruit would be nice in the morning because it helps cleanse your body and get rid of the cooked coffee. They do have artificial pretend coffee, which is mostly cooked chicory, and you can get that from the health food store or online. You want to get a natural coffee that doesn't have that caffeine and all those other chemicals in it. Because basically, when you eat a candy bar, that's equivalent to 1 cup of coffee anyway, especially a chocolate candy bar. So people are getting in this caffeine in different directions, but they're not thinking of the element. So 1 chocolate bar is 1 cup of coffee.
So if you could give like someone who has they don't know where to start, if they could take 1 supplement for like 7 days straight, because you have to make things a habit, what supplement would you tell them to take, and what system would it affect? What would you deal with first?
Anything you put in your mouth is affecting your whole body. This system stuff, I don't get it. It's affecting your whole body. So I would suggest a blood purifier, which is...
So that's your blood.
Yeah, we work with that because that's carrying the oxygen, it's carrying the waste, it's carrying the vitamins and minerals. So we want to get the transportation system with what they call that thing you have that controls your car that you drive with.
Okay. That's the gear shift?
No, that thing you press it and you don't have to do anything.
Oh, yeah, driver assist.
Yeah, I'm trying to give you a driver's assist.
Okay.
And all you want to do is a blood purifying herb, which is a can care on our website, LailaAfrica.com. So I would do that. That way you're getting assistance in your path to wellness, driver assistance, sorry.
Well, we also have Kwame Dukes is asking a cure for chronic dry lips. That's dehydration.
Yeah, that's dehydration, essentially. Dehydration is a disease, by the way. And most of the time, people get dry lips from eating concentrates. That concentrate can be raw juice, it can be bleach white flour, it can be aspirin, it can be Tylenol. So it's drying their lips, which is drying their intestines, which is drying their vagina, which is drying their behind, which is drying their penis. It dries the whole system. So what we're trying to do is digest more water, because water is a food. So you have to get your liver healthy and your pancreas healthy. But
How do you make a healthy liver?
let me undry his lips a little bit.
Okay.
So you just want to get some kind of lip thing, a natural one, a chapstick kind of thing they have in a health food store. Not that other thing that they sell at the drugstore. You want a health one. It will have healthy waxes in it. So get it from a health food store and use that for your lips. And also get away from things that are drying your skin, which can be sodas, which can be beer, which can be pizza, which can be cake, candy, fried foods, and of course your popular things that you like, coffee. So that's the things that are pulling the moisture out of your skin. But most people don't associate their diet with being a drying diet. How we know that your diet is drying is that anytime you take the moisture out of the plant and you eat it, the plant will take the moisture out of you. That is baked cookies and cake. You took the moisture out of a wheat berry and you ate it. So the body has to rehydrate it, put the water back in the wheat berry. And that's what's drying your skin. Cookies, cake, candy, anything you cook, you took the moisture out, and when you eat it, the body puts the moisture back in the food, not in your skin, but in the food. And that's the major problem.
Well, we appreciate it. So, did you give them this, what they can take for their blood? Do you have a blood purifier?
Yeah, we mentioned the blood purifier. It's on our website, LailaAfrica.com. It's going to say Can Care. We suggested that to them.
Okay. And for the viewers, we really appreciate you. And this is our second stream, so we're just trying to get ourselves, work all the kinks out. If you like what we're doing, please let us know. You can get more information on our site at LailaAfrica.com. Dr. Africa has an online course that you can take to help you understand the property of foods. You can learn pH, blood pressure, how to read somebody's tongue, teeth, eyebrows, and a whole lot of other things. I think our sale was off last night at 12 o'clock, but I haven't turned it off yet. So you have until probably 8 o'clock today until I do that. So if you still want to get our class half off, you have, today's the last day up until, I'm gonna say 8 o'clock. That's when I'm gonna cut it off.
Based on the time zone they're in.
Right.
I'm getting things from England, and they are, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they're a little bit
so
ahead of us.
We understand that. We're understanding of the
Yes.
different time zones and different things of that sort. So
we're going to have, if you cannot come to a Dr. Africa lecture, he's going to be doing lectures through a stream now. So what's going to happen is you can enjoy his lectures in the comfort of your own home or wherever you're at. It is coming soon. As well, we're going to be doing classes and different conferences just through streaming. We're trying to make it, there's people who have never had a chance to come to these different places where the lectures are. So now we're trying to make it available where we can come to you in your living room, your dining room, through your iPad, your computer, through your phone, be it whatever it is, we're trying to come to you. If you like what you see, please let us know. If there's a problem with audio or video, if you see something that's going on, please let us know. That's the only way we know, okay? But I want to thank you, and we'd like to invite you back we will be coming back soon. We don't know when yet, but we'll be coming back.
Just keep in contact with us on our website, laelaafrika.com, and then you will know about the streaming, the classes, and all that sort of things. And you can email me through the site, so laelaafrika.com. It's the best way to be updated on all information, all the things that we're doing.
Thank you so much. I wish you happy health. Take care.